I was proud of our team today. I thought we came out with a lot of energy. It was a very unique game because roughly halfway through the first half, we didn't have necessarily the answer I had hoped for defensively, and they scored quite a few baskets in the post and around the rim. And at the same time, we did a pretty good job of executing against their 2-3 zone. And obviously, once we got through that period of time, things went our way. But we watched Idaho State play against Colorado, and they scored 80 points in that game. Broderick Gilchrist had 39 of the 80. And for us to have the defensive effort that we had, it could be a different story right now. So from that perspective, I thought our team worked hard on defense. We had a lot of different players in the game, which is going to be one of the things that we hope to do throughout the year. And I thought as the game went on as well, we really settled in against their zone. For us to face zone, that's a good thing because there's a lot of different teams who mix that in. And there were times where we had really good ball movement on our end and took good shots. And that's what we were looking to get out of the game. It's great to be 1-0. And now the test on Thursday against New Mexico State, I think, will be a very difficult challenge. They're an excellent team who went on the road in their season opener. And hopefully today's game gives you some confidence. We're still at that point where so many different players playing. It's great when you can leave the game feeling good about yourself sometimes.
Questions for Coach Miller?
Short of their big guy coming out right about the time you guys started that shutdown run defensively, what did you guys do different or better that locked him up as opposed to maybe the first 9 minutes?
We didn't do anything different. We really tried to play our style of defense and get different players in the game fresh. One thing that we want to take advantage of is if you're going to sub and play 10 players, when you get called to the scores table, you have to enter the game with tremendous energy. And if nothing else, always do your job on defense. That has a way of keeping the intensity up. And now when you come back in with maybe the players that started the game, you have a more intense environment on defense. And we're working towards that. We still have a long way to go. But I know that a year ago, I don't think we would have had the same defensive effort for 40 minutes, even if we played the same team. And it's one of the things that I think we're all keeping our eye on is where is our starting point across the board, but especially on defense, because that's the one thing we can always control.
And having a deeper bench this year than you did last year, does that help with that?
I hope so. Every time you talk about having a deep bench, something happens that doesn't allow you to have that deep bench. But the one thing about our team, there's not a huge difference between the starting 5 and the second 5. Derek Williams speaks for himself, especially on offense. But in given games, there'll be players who come off the bench who can impact the win as much as somebody who starts. And that's not my decision to do that. It's really what we watch every day in practice. And Brendan Lavender's a great example. Brendan, it's great to see him play with the same confidence in the game that he's really had from the start of this year. And he's an important part of this year's team because he gives you that ability to shoot the 3 off the bench, and he knows what's going on, having played in so many games a year ago. But that lack of confidence once in a while that maybe we have seen in his first 2 years, I haven't seen that very often in practice this year. And I was really happy for him that he came in and not only did he shoot the ball and it went in, but just the way he played, to me, looked the same.